Hello and welcome to another live lesson, AM language with me, Richie. I hope you're all doing well. It's Thursday afternoon and I have a cup of tea as well, which I'm delighted with. Okay, so in today's lesson, guys, we are going to look at giving constructive criticism. Irina F., good afternoon and welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're doing well. Privyet. I'm just going to try and share the video. I should be able to. I know that you can find it on YouTube, so hopefully enough people find the video. This week we've looked at quite a few things this week. It's definitely on the harder side of things. I don't disagree with that. Next week, I'll try and make sure things aren't quite as difficult for every single level. But it is important to look at these skills. Okay, Roberto, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson and thank you for joining. I hope you're having a good day. Buon pomeriggio. Okay, so yeah, that's now been shared. So yeah, I mean, look, we've looked at this. Well, we've looked at signpost words. Monday we looked at trying to say something. Yes, that was it. Soften language. That was what we looked at on Monday, wasn't it? Yesterday we looked at a listening activity, and today it's going to be constructive criticism. So we'll have a look at what that means and why this is an important skill, because it is. It's a very important skill. It's very important to know how to do. And it can be quite a difficult one to do as well. So guys, if you're watching, please make sure you watch, you follow the lesson in the live chat section, because that is where the action happens. And that makes no difference if you are following now or if you are following later. Make sure you follow us in the live chat. As always, click on the description below where you can find the links to AM Language's website, as well as the social media pages as well. So you can find all of those things there below. Well done, by the way. I'm very happy we're up to 563 subscribers. I'm hoping that we can hit the 570 mark by Christmas. That would be very good. And plus, if there is anything that you would like me to look at specifically, please let me know. Feel free to leave comments under the videos, and I will get round and I will actually have a look. Okay, guys, so 3 minutes in, I'm going to start I'm going to go straight into the lesson, and I'm just going to see about one or two things when we come to give criticism and constructive criticism. So when we use this word, okay, criticism, what do you guys think is the accurate definition of the word criticism? Okay, what do you think is the accurate word? The accurate definition when we are using this word criticism. It's a strange pronunciation, a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some options underneath. Okay, so you've got A, B, and C. So what do you think is the better option between these three um, when we use the term criticism? Or maybe you can use all three. Or maybe you want to say A and B. Maybe you want to say B and C. Which one do you think? Which ones do you think? Roberta says B, to give feedback on how someone did. And Arena F says A. And I would say this, guys, you're both right in the sense that people do use it for A and people do use it for B. A is what people often do. So A will be probably when there's more emotion, maybe involved. I would say maybe that's the case. Alida, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Buenos dias. Evelina says good afternoon as well. Buono pomeriggio. So A and B can be correct. A, if you're going in with just criticism, okay, I'm going to say now A and B are the correct answers, but there's a good way and a bad way. The thing about A is that it usually is very negative. B is what we would try and go with constructive criticism. Now, when we use the term constructive criticism, what we're trying to do here is to be helpful and polite. So that's what we mean by constructive criticism. Sometimes not everyone responds well to criticism. So we have to think of our language between hard and soft. So this goes back to Monday's lesson a little bit. So I'm going to ask you guys to give me some of your own ideas in terms of hard language, okay, to begin with, just so we all know what hard language is. I'm going to start off with two words such as bad and rubbish. Feel free to give me your ideas in terms of words you know that would be hard language when criticizing or giving criticism. Okay, so I've given you two examples, bad and rubbish. Rubbish is definitely UK English. I don't think it's something that American English would, it's not common in American English. I think in American English, they would just go with, just like rubbish that you throw in the bin. They might go with trash, to be honest. It's the same sort of thing. Alida, yes. Stupid, yes, definitely. That would be hard language. Not necessarily the best thing. Evelina, Arena F, Roberto. What do you guys think? Can you think of other hard language that you could use when giving? Yeah, dumb, stupid, dumb. Yep, that would be hard language. What else? Oh, Evelina comes out with dumb as well. Yep, that would be hard language. Another one, terrible. Terrible would be a very hard language. Crazy, insane. Yes, definitely. So that would also be like same as using the words mad, for example. Idiotic, for example. What about worst? Can we use worst? Would worst be considered as hard language? Stubborn. Ooh, good one there. Stubborn. Maybe. I think stubborn, it depends on the context. It could be hard. It could be used in a softer way. I think it depends on the context on that one. What about worst? Using superlatives, like the worst, for example. What do you guys think? I mean, I would say, look, if you could use a lot of superlatives, actually. So worst, the most, awful. These would be hard language. So now we need to try and come up with some alternatives. So I'm going to, Roberto says indecent. Oh, indecent, unfair. Again, I'm going to put that in the depend bucket, maybe box, okay, because I think there are possible circumstances when we could use that in the right way and still come across as constructive criticism. So I'm going to come out. The way this is going to work is I'm going to say something in a really hard way, and then I'm going to give you some options. You guys need to choose the best option that has the same meaning as what as the actual sentence. So number one, okay, we're going to see this. We're going to see. So we have, that was the worst bit of homework ever. As you can see, I've used the word worst and bit of homework ever. So I've really gone in quite hard. Choose the best option underneath. Okay, so choose two options here. Choose two options. I've changed my mind. Choose two options. Which two do you think are the best options? To say that was the worst bit of homework ever. So which two options do you think might be the best? Alida says C and D, the best. Not in terms of softening language. Okay, so remember, guys, we're going for soften language here. So Alida and Roberto have both said C and D. This was simply awful. This belongs in the bin. Wow. Evelina says C as well. Okay, well, you've all gone for C at least. Okay, when we are looking at softening the language here to give feedback, this was simply awful. This is actually, this would be it. Okay, this is still hard. Okay, this is simply awful. This is still hard, but it can be effective. So I'm not going to say C is correct, but it's a good one to know. Let's put it that way. I would say here, when you're looking to soften the language and you're looking to say, look, this is the worst homework ever, C has probably the closest direct meaning to it. No, not the same meaning. No, Alida. We need to go with, it still needs to be the same meaning, but we're looking to try and choose the one that we think is going to be the softer one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the answers in order from soft to hard. Okay. So from soft to hard that you could use. Okay. First of all, A and B, actually. are the softest. Okay, they are the softest. They can have the same meaning, but, and this is the important word, it is implied, not said. This is an important one to know. This is something that I would say is very common in English culture. You won't necessarily tell someone you're not going to be necessarily hard. You're going to tell them, but you're going to tell them in a soft way. So you're going to imply it. Now, imply it means when you imply something, it means your words are pointing towards something without saying it. Okay, so you're not going to say this is the worst bit of homework ever, but you are implying it but you could, sorry, the word is you could be implying it when you use the words, this was not your best work, or this did not reflect your best work, meaning this did not show your best work. The thing about it is that this could mean the same thing. It depends on the rest of the context. C is still hard, but it has the most direct meaning. And finally, D, this simply is too hard. Okay? So here is my challenge for you guys. Can you try and combine A and B and C to create your own sentence? Okay, so combine A or B and C. Okay, try and combine A and B, A or B and C to create the meaning. I'm going to give you an example of how this might look. Okay, so here you might need to think of a synonym. Now I'm going to give you an example, so I'm not going to leave you totally out in the cold, and then you can try and come up with your own ones. So let's say I'm going to take A. Okay, let's say I'm going to mix A and C. I want to get the meaning, but I need to think of a synonym of awful. I could say something like this. So you might come out with something like this. This was not good enough, and I think we can agree it isn't your best work. This would be this is a very good example. Try and mix yourself. Now you can see here, instead of going with awful, I've gone with not good enough. I've still used the softening language as well, but here we can clearly see this now really does have the same meaning as that was the worst bit of homework ever. Now we're very close to the same meaning. This was not good enough. And I think we can agree it isn't your best work. So this is how we can do it. Your turn. Think of another way of using C, the word awful, and feel free to try and combine A or B with it. If you like, try and combine B. It might be a good challenge. Let's see what you guys come up with. And then we'll begin to really get close to being able to hit the right language. It will mean that from here afterwards, the rest of the activities, the rest of the options in the activities to come will probably make a bit more sense. It will be easier to find the right language that we need to use. Okay, so we are in the beginning stages of building our understanding here. So let's see what you guys come up with. Maybe you want to have a go at combining B and C to equal your answer. Okay, have a go. I mean, if you want to go with not good enough, you can go with not good enough. It's a good one to know. It's a good one to use. It's not good enough. It's strong but polite. I think we can agree it isn't your best work. If we remind ourselves of B, B was where's B? This did not reflect your best work. This isn't your best. Oh, I see what actually, I come to think of it, I think I might have mixed B and C, come to think of it. No, I think I've still gone with A and C. I mean, A and B are very similar in their meanings. So let's see how you guys do. If you want to go with if you like, you can just rearrange the sentence. If you're finding this a bit difficult, you can just change the order of the sentence. So Alida says, I think you could have done it better. It's not acceptable. I think that's a good one, Alida. I think that's good. It's not acceptable is a good one. Roberto says, this doesn't reflect what you could really do. It was a bit messy. I like that. I think there's a lot of elements to it that are similar to the actual meaning. You could even go harder still, possibly, because it was a bit messy. If you took away bit, it was messy, then it probably has an even stronger, a closer meaning. Bit kind of lightens it. If you remove mit and say it was messy, then I think you hit the meaning better. Okay, so well done, guys. I think we're off to a good start there. Now let's move into the next one, okay? Number 2. This time I am going to give you the, we're not going to do the mixing of possibilities because we've now done that first bit where we have an idea of what we're looking for. So from now on, it's just a question of A, B, C, or D. Okay. So number 2. Where is it? Okay, we're going in here. This is a rude one. You just don't give a beep. Okay, so someone might want to use a swear word in this one. Obviously, this is not going to be good in certain situations. You might get away with it with friends, for example, but in the workplace, at school, obviously, this isn't going to work. So let's see what the possible options are. Okay, so you've got A. Sorry, that should be you're just full of rubbish. Sorry, let me just rewrite that. That is not correct. I forgot the apostrophe there. You're just full of rubbish. Okay, so A, you're just full of rubbish. B, I'm afraid you're coming out with utter nonsense. C, tea bags. Tea bags. I forgot the S on tea bags. That's why it doesn't make as much sense. This one is just a little. This is a bit funny, actually. It's a bit of a bit of humor thrown in. Tea bags make more sense than you, and D, shut up. So, which one do you think is the best one? A, you're just full of rubbish. B, I'm afraid you're coming out with utter nonsense. C, tea bags make more sense than you. Honestly, tea bags make more sense than you, and tea bags make more sense than you. And finally, you're just full of D, shut up. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Actually, maybe I need to give these again because I've had to change the order is a little bit off. I'll do it again, actually, so you guys can all see the correct ones in order. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit harder for people watching later. And there we go. Okay, so that's the correct order there. Good. Okay, that's the correct order. I think what I'll do is I'll just remove the ones before that that were in the incorrect order, so people watching later won't end up confused. It's always a risk. Okay, so we've got A, you're just full of rubbish. B, I'm afraid you're coming out with utter nonsense. C, tea bags make more sense than you. And D, shut up. Alejandra, welcome to the lesson today. Lovely to see you here. So you've come in with C. I like your humor. Alida says to soften B. And Evelina agrees B, and Roberto says soften just B. Yes, B would be the correct answer. That is the correct answer because it's the softest one, yet it has the exact same meaning. I'm afraid you're coming out with utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense, by the way, is the same as saying utter nonsense has the same meaning as total rubbish, basically. It has the same meaning. And if you want to be a bit funny, then you can say tea bags make more sense than you. I would say this is an easy one to do if you want to be a little bit funny. Just remember, makes more sense than you, and just change the subject. And think of something that doesn't think either. So the more the sillier the subject, the funnier it is, really. So obviously, tea bags can't say anything. Tea bags can't do anything. Tea bags can't think. So if you tell someone tea bags make more sense than you, that's a pretty that's a pretty big insult, but a funny one at the same time. Good, well done. Let's move on to number 3. Okay. Now, important one to know here, something that you might hear English people say. It's called "you're taking the piss." This means, by the way, if someone is taking the piss, it means they are being well, let's put it this way. They're pushing their luck with you. They are asking more and more from you, and they are not being fair. Let's put it that way. Okay. So if you hear an English person say you're taking the piss, it means, they are pushing their luck with you. They are asking more and more from you, and they are not being fair. So they are being unfair. They are being unreasonable. So, option number 1, in terms of alternatives. B, C, and finally D. Happened here. Okay, and finally D. You are being unreasonable. You need to consider what you are asking of me. What do you think is the best one over here? And then we'll see what how we can. Well, yeah. Well, let's start off with that. A, B, or C, or D. Okay, all of you so far are going for D. Maybe it was a bit obvious. Okay, good. All of you are going for D. The important bit of that sentence is you're being unreasonable. So if someone is being unfair, they are being unreasonable. They're asking an awful lot from you. So we're now going to go into the situation, scenario. I'm going to describe a scenario, a situation, and you need to describe it to me. And we need to use some of the words, some of the phrases we've looked at today. So, for instance, I might be saying, I might show you this. I might write, John asks, so this is the situation. John has asked his boss to pay him for hours he didn't do, and has also asked for a bonus. John also wants a promotion, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he will report his boss. So you will then have a look at that, you will go through the options, and then you will then tell me which one you think best describes. You could give me, if you want, you can give me both, two versions. You could give me the hard and soft version, but you must give me the soft version. So in this case, you might give me one of the options above. The answer to this one, of course, would be John is being unreasonable. And then that would be the answer. So that is how this activity works. just show you that. Okay, so that would then be the answer. John is being unreasonable. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so let's begin. This is the situation. So Simon didn't do his homework and is trying to make his teacher believe that his dog ate his work, well, his homework. So looking through the live chat, which response, which one best describes what's going on here? Is it a simple, don't forget, we need to think about meaning. So is it a simple matter of being unreasonable, or can we find a better answer? Can we find a better answer? Let's see. So, yeah, I'm sure all of you have heard at least one person try and explain to their teacher that their pet dog or pet cat ate their homework. I'm sure some of you have heard this before. But which of the options that we've looked at today best describes what's going on here? I have an answer in mind, but let's see which ones you guys go with. You can scroll up. If you scroll up in the live chat, you can then see some of the options. So, Alida says tea bags make more sense than you. You could go with that. Yeah, tea bags make more sense than you. That could very well be my response if I wanted to be funny. Alida says, I'm afraid you're coming out with utter nonsense. If you agree with Alida, simply say that you agree with Alida. If you think you can find a better response, let me know. If you would like to have a go at coming out with your own response, you can do as well. There's some good ones actually in terms of that humor. Maybe I should do a lesson on humor, like funny, like being slightly sarcastic. Like tea bags make more sense than you. It's a little bit sarcastic, obviously. It gives me an idea for a possible lesson. I think, I could go into it, but I'm going to make a note of it. I'm going to do a lesson next week, I think, on sarcastic responses, I think. Roberto says, I agree with the second. Alida, okay, I know what you mean. You agree with Alida's second answer. Okay, so let's go with the next one. Okay, that performance was so bad. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play as badly as you did. You should just give up. You were awful. Okay, so really, really bad performance of some kind. What do you think would be the best response here? Yeah, I think I'm going to do one next week. Next week, I am going to do a lesson on English humor, sarcasm. So Alida says this did not reflect your best work. That could definitely be a good way of putting it. If anyone else would like to come in with something else, please do. Maybe you just have the same idea as a leader, in which case that's fine. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow, Friday, it's going to be Film English, and every Friday over the Christmas season, it's going to be Music English, and it's going to be some Christmas songs that we're going to look at tomorrow. That would be funny. The lesson, yep. The humor, English humor. I will actually, you know what, next week I will make sure that we'll look at some English humor. Roberto says, what you have done didn't reflect what your true potential is. Good. I think those work quite nicely. I think they're good answers. So let's go with one last one. Roberto, you didn't need to delete. You were correct. What you have done doesn't reflect what your true potential is. I think what you had written before was also correct, Roberto. It was fine. I think anyway. So last one. Okay, quite hard here. You just take, and never give back. You're an oxygen thief, and simply awful. Oxygen, oxygen thief is a funny term. In case you guys don't know what an oxygen thief is, an oxygen thief is someone who takes, who who is someone who steals the air, who steals the oxygen in the room, because they contribute nothing and they are just really difficult. Um, that's what an oxygen thief is. Someone who steals the oxygen in the room because they contribute nothing, so they give nothing, and they are just really difficult. So that's what an oxygen thief is. It's it's an unfortunate it's an unfortunate term, but it's quite funny at the same time. Ow, that's too much. Yeah, it's a really unfortunate term. It's an unfortunate insult in the English language, but it is quite funny at the same time. But it's not something you should come out with in the workplace or in an educational environment. So, leader has said, you need to consider what you are asking of me. You are being unreasonable. Yeah, that would be a good response. A leader says, please, dude, for the next time, can you give me your best performance? So a leader is referring to the one beforehand. A leader, I think that's interesting. Can you give me your best performance? Absolutely. That is correct. The first part, please, dude, for the next time, that's definitely informal. So the second bit is correct in terms of softening the language in a formal way. The first part is informal, but you overall, I'm going to have to say yes, because it's not hard. It's definitely on the softer side of language. I can imagine you saying that. I can imagine someone saying that at like a music concert, actually. Like you're at a music concert and someone's just not singing very well. Roberto says, I believe you'd be better rethink your give or take couple understanding. Okay, I think I know what you're trying to go for. Oh, sorry, yes, Alejandra. Sorry, I read out a lead instead of Alejandra's answer. Yes, sorry, I meant Alejandra's please do. Okay, I see what you're going for there, Roberto. I'm just going to suggest this, okay? To make it better, I believe you'd better rethink. I believe you'd better rethink your position on this. That's what you could go with. So you were nearly there. You were nearly there. I believe you'd better rethink your position on this, because this is you had better. Now, I haven't done a lesson on you had better, and I could probably do a whole lesson on you had better, because it's quite it's not the easiest bit of language to use, but it's definitely a good one. Roberta says, cool, I like that. Okay, I believe you'd better rethink your position on that. This is actually quite good, because what we would say is the meaning is hard, but the language is soft, and you get your point across very carefully and very well. So this one, I believe you'd better rethink your position, is an excellent response. You could use it in the workplace and in formal settings when the situation is getting to a really silly stage. I believe you'd better rethink your position on this. Okay, good. Thank you very much, guys. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're new. I will be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Film English, Christmas songs. There's lots of things to look at, and that might be quite amusing as well. And next week, I will do a lesson on English humor and a bit of sarcasm. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining. To everyone who participated in the lesson today, thank you very much. There were a good number of you. Roberto, Alida, Alejandra, lovely to see all of you here. Arena F as well. Am I missing anyone? I might have missed one. Oh, Evelina as well. And anyone else who watched the lesson today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Roberto. Alida, you too. And Alejandra, thank you as well. And you, Evelina. So, bye, everyone. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.